Hello again, it's your friendly neighborhood host, JT Wheatley, back for another episode of the History of Comic Books podcast. This time with another edition of the classics with The Authority, which was a classic Wildstorm DC comic that basically had the idea, what if a team of the level of the Justice League's powers actually decided to defend the Earth by any means necessary? The first 12 issues were written by Warren Ellis and drawn by Brian Hitch, that features the various team of Jay Coxmore, the God of Cities, Jenny Sparks, Apollo, a Superman version, Midnighter, a Batman version, the Engineer, and the Doctor, and so forth, all fighting various threats to keep humanity safe, and using immense powers to do so. And after issue number 12, it was picked up by Mark Millar and Frank Quitely, who pushed it even further, where they took on an evil version of the a veiled version of the Avengers, since they were the Justice League, kind of a Justice League version. They took on an evil Avengers version, and also a Doctor who can literally destroy the planet, and their only hope is to, well, just evacuate the entire Earth and fight them by themselves with the Earth evacuated. This is some crazy, powerful stuff that really pushed the idea of what superheroes could do in crazy new directions, and really powerful stuff, like they dealt with trauma and sexual prejudice and so forth. Most significantly, Apollo and Midnighter are both homosexual and in love with each other, which, well, that's a lot of Superman, Batman fanfic get just answered there, but it's just crazy fun. Apollo's just superpower, just like Superman, but Midnighter is crazy. Like, he's prepared for everything to a point where the guy can have his neck snapped, and he knows how to fix that, which is, you have to just read it to watch it, but it's just a crazy, no-hose-bars action, beautiful art. Of course, we're talking about Brian Hitch and Frank Quitely, and some edgy, great writing, and it spawned out of a Stormwatch from Wildstorm, where Warren Ellis started pushing the idea of what if superheroes really went all out in trying to accomplish their mission. So, definitely, these comic books still tend to test this time this day, because there's really been nothing else like them. And it is really, the best run is issues number 1 to 26, which began back in 1999. The first 12 issues, of course, were Brian Hitch and Warren Ellis, and then Mark Millar and Frank Quitely, followed by a few other artists, and notably Arthur Adams ended the last 3 issues, which, by the way, correction here, I think I previously stated that North Star was the first superhero to have a gay wedding back in 2012 in Astonishing X-Men, but according to new research, it was actually The Authority, number 26, in which Apollo and Midnighter got married. So, yeah, a little correction there. Apologies for misleading. Got to do the little research and so forth like that. But, yeah, if you're looking for some edgy, fun, basically a Justice League that has no holds barred, check out The Authority. Those are, particularly issues number 1 to 26, those are true classic comic books. And now is July 23rd, 2020, time for the favorite comic book of the week. Wind, number 2, by James Tynion IV and Michael Delanis, which continues the story set from the first one, which finds Wind, the elf-eared young boy, who suddenly finds himself being forced to leave Pipetown when the world politics change and you realize it's no longer safe for someone like his kind. However, those politics also take for a twist when the prince, who's set to become the new king, has his ideas of his own, and things just get more complicated from there. James Tynion does a great job just really setting up this world with a great mix of steampunk and fantasy. We're also dealing with prejudice of all different kinds, because that's nothing to do with like species prejudice, like magical and non-magical beings, but also the fact that Wind is a homosexual, has a crush on a local gardener, and so forth. While Delanis' art is just a perfect mix with fantasy steampunk. It looks great, piped down, it's beautifully realized, great details, wonderful storytelling, and it just gets you sucked in to where it's just, you can't wait to see where this thing's going. It's a great original book, and easily one of the best new books of 2020. And with that, that's this episode of the Classics for this week. Join me again next week for probably another new Classics. Still working on those history podcasts, almost through, but, still history, the research it is and what it is and so forth like that. But once I get a good bank, I'll be releasing them as soon as I can. But till then, go out, stay safe, support your local comic book store, and if you can, pick up The Authority. Well, particularly issues number 1 to 26, because those comic books are true classics.